In this video, we are going to share the best camera for documentary filmmaking in 2021. One size fits all in documentary filmmaking, this rule definitely doesn't apply. It always really depends, are you a beginner planning for your first documentary? Or a professional doing it for the umpteenth time? In this video, I will focus on recommendations for beginners as well as slightly more advanced filmmakers that might have done some filming, but not a documentary. Because a documentary is not like any other movie. Links to all discussed cameras are in the description, you can check them for the latest prices and more information. Starting our list with Sony FX6. The Sony FX6 is a compact beast of a camera that is loaded with features that rival its larger and more expensive big brother, the Sony FX9. With a glorious full-frame image sensor, rock-solid codecs, an easy raw video output, astonishing high-speed modes, and size and weight that allow it to be mounted anywhere to anything, this camera is a surefire solution for a documentary filmmaker who is on the go. Sony has had us seeing in the dark for the better part of the last decade with their A7's mirrorless series of cameras. The FX6 builds on top of that full-frame gem with an even more advanced low-light capability. The FX6 can capture a clean image at 12,800 ISO and still push the gain further and further to a point where we're seeing things clearly as nothing but moonlight. In Slog 3 it can capture 15 plus stops of dynamic range, which is absolutely essential for a documentary filmmaker who needs to set things up quickly. With this camera, you need not worry about avoiding areas of high contrast or tinkering with adjusting practical light sources to compensate for the shortcomings of your image sensor. You could comfortably film a subject indoors, beside an open window, and easily split the grade in the post to produce a perfectly level final image with the Sony FX6. Documentary film crews are often very small. At times they can be no larger than just a single person. Not only can the FX6 capture fantastic sound quality through its 2x XLR inputs with phantom power, but it also incorporates one of the best implementations of smooth continuous autofocus that has ever been offered on any camera. A phase detection-based AF system that can track objects, faces, and eyes will allow the cinematographer to focus on composition and story rather than milling about with their fingers on the lens barrel while they try their best to keep things in focus. One of the most notable things about the FX6 is its size and weight, at just 2 pounds with a battery and a box camera design that can easily be mounted to any handheld gimbal to acquire incredible tracking shots and B-roll. It is lightweight, easy to use with buttons for every setting on the outside, and still compact enough to fit in overhead storage while traveling. But what documentary filmmakers really need is an image quality coupled with codecs that can meet their deliverables, and the Sony FX6 brings it all to their fingertips. The internal XAVCI42 210-bit codec is just what it takes to meet the specs for broadcast and streaming, and when you need a little more quality, it offers a simple HDMI output solution for recording 16-bit RAW. Additional features that are worth mentioning are the FX6's built-in ND, high frame rate options, and Sony E-mount, which can adapt to almost any lens available. There are very few compromises with this camera, but if you're looking for something from a different brand, consider these cameras. At number 2 it's Canon Vixia HF-G40. There is a big difference between digital cameras and digital camcorders. Digital camcorders can record not only to flash memory cards, but can also store content internally as well. Camcorders are often designed with more functionality for documentary filmmakers. While Vixia HF-G40 can't shoot 4K, it can shoot Full HD 1920 by 1080p at up to 60 fps in MP4 format. It's a perfect camcorder for beginners, but don't underestimate this machine, especially if you've already got experience making movies. You can almost fit the G40 in your pocket. You can capture decent footage in low light. The G40 has a CMOS sensor and a 20x HD video zoom lens with a hybrid manual focus zoom ring. A used Canon G40 costs a little over $900 with a retail price of roughly $1,000 for a new one. But remember, it is only a camcorder, so you better have something else to hand for your stills. At number 3 it's Canon C300 MK2. Canon C300 MK2 is the industry high-end gadget and one of the brand's most popular professional video cameras. It is cased in a slightly larger body than a standard mirrorless or DSLR camera. C300 MK2 includes an S35mm sensor that records up to 4K internally with 14 to 15 stops of dynamic range, along with 4 RGB, ideal for color match shots. It is a great cinema camera with premium image quality and improved ergonomics. Its short body makes it super easy and light to film by hand. To compare, we can look at C300II's bigger brother Canon C500 MK2. C500 MK2's price is double what you'd pay for C300 MK2. C500 MK2 can record internal raw light, but also has a full frame or large format sensor. It includes interchangeable PL and EF lens mounts, so you don't actually have to buy two bodies, just the lenses. Finally, it has a great slow motion as one of the first cameras in the Canon C series with 4K 60p internally. With this camera, you have an option to do true native 2x anamorphic. True skin tones and colors make it perfect for indie or documentary filmmakers. At number 4, it's Sony DSC-RX10 IV. Sony DSC-RX10 IV is an all-in-one camera perfect for amateur videographers, casual shooting and travelers. However, with a rough price of $1,500, advanced filmmakers might be tempted by its impressive list of specs and features. RX10 IV has a 20MP CMOS sensor, a 315-point phase detection autofocus system that covers 65% of the frame, touch LCD and EVF, built-in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connectivity. It shoots a detailed 4K video, 1080p slow motion, and has a native ISO range of 100 to 12,800. It features a 25x zoom lens, a large 1-inch sensor, phase detect autofocus, and 24 fps RAW capture with tracking. It is dust and splash proof, weather sealed, and has a battery life that comfortably captures 400 shots. It also has high frame rate video capture and delivers a premium image quality. At number 5, it's Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6K. The BMPCC 6K is a popular camera for filmmakers. Why is that, you may wonder? The footage it produces feels cinematic, all in a compact and lightweight body. The BMPCC 6K features the S35 sensor, EF mount and shoots ProRes 4K or 6KB RAW. It's perfect for filmmakers that want to shoot high-quality RAW footage in a small package. Slow motion is much cleaner and sharper than its predecessor, the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K. The BMPCC is priced at $2,499, which is a lot less than many DSLR cameras. It is often considered to be one of the best DSLR cameras at this price level. If the price is still a bit steep for you, there's a solution. Opt for the BMPCC 6K's little 4K sibling. While many mirrorless cameras are built with both video and photo in mind, Blackmagic design is dedicated to filmmakers. These two cameras hit the mark when it comes to small and affordable handheld cameras. With its impressive sensor, ability to shoot DCI 4K 4096 by 2160 at up to 60 fps, and Blackmagic RAW and ProRes 4.2.2 codecs. It's fantastic for low-light documentary environments and pushes 13 stops of dynamic range. It also offers up to 120 fps in cropped Full HD. You should be able to source a BMPCC 4K for just under $1,300. With that, we come to the end of our review. Your camera is very important, but remember the other gear and accessories too. You'll need an audio recorder for your interviews, lights, a tripod, or gimbals. Besides the gear, you need to plan your crew, time, and finances. This planning phase is just as important as the execution, so have everything laid out before you pick up your camera to shoot.